Hi guys, it's Alex Verdugo from the Musical Community Alliance. In this episode of Good Through Music, we're visiting Wiles Lodge School in Stamford to learn all about the positivity that music therapy brings to their pupils and give them some great equipment at the same time. Let's go. Hi Maeve, how are you doing today?
I'm very well, Alex. How are you?
I'm fantastic, thank you so much. I mean, it's so great to be here at Wiles Lodge School. We've travelled up from London and Brighton to visit you. It's such a pleasure. And we're in this lovely hut of yours. How long did this take to kit out with everything you got in it?
I guess this hut, it was a vision for a while, and then it came to fruition a couple of years ago. And it's used by art therapists, play therapists, drama therapists, and myself, the music therapist. So it's a big room full of lots of different things.
I've noticed, as we were saying before, the cameras were rolling. There's loads of animals. Some paintbrushes and musical instruments behind us here, so it must get lots of use, I imagine.
It does, yeah, by lots of different students here, yeah. Fantastic.
And how long have you been a music therapist for?
I've been a music therapist for 12 years, and I joined Wiles Lodge last year.
Yeah.
A month before the pandemic.
Wow.
Yeah, so it was an odd time to begin a new job. But with everything that's gone on, I feel very settled into the role, and it's a wonderful place to work.
That's really fantastic to hear. I've got no doubt that COVID's thrown lots of plans out the window, so to see you settled and making a difference is really fantastic. And
yeah.
I'm really curious, what got you into being a music therapist in the first place? Rewinding all those years ago, what was it that inspired you into going to music therapy?
I guess when I was doing my undergraduate music degree, I connected with the fact that I wasn't an outright performer.
Sure.
But I enjoyed making music, and I could see the benefits it had to me as a person, in terms of my well-being, and I wanted to explore how music can make people feel.
Yeah.
And I did some volunteering work with children with special needs, and I noticed how music was the thing that connected them with the people around them, and I thought, maybe there's a job here for me, and I discovered music therapy. So I did my training and haven't looked back. It's been a wonderful career.
That's a really incredible story. So can you please tell me a bit about Wiles Lodge School? And your place in it. I'm really, really fascinated by it. We turned up, it's gorgeous, and this lovely hut, as we mentioned. So please tell us all about the school.
Sure, I'd love to. Wiles Lodge is an independent residential school here in the East Midlands, and the pupils that attend the school are from the ages of 5 all the way up to 19. So it's the full spectrum of children to teenagers and young adults. And there's a therapeutic focus to the work at the school. So the education team as well as the care team work from a therapeutic thinking to really help nurture the children and things that they might struggle with.
Yeah.
To really help them get a greater understanding of themselves, and help them build connections with the people in the world around them. So it's a very unique approach, and it really helps students with their social, emotional and mental health. And the therapy team fits alongside that too. So there are 6 of us in the team, and all pupils in the school can be referred to therapy at any point.
Right.
And we work on focusing on supporting them with whatever it is they might need extra support with.
Wow, that's incredible. Would you advocate for other schools to do the same? I think it's probably quite rare to find that focus on therapy in the country. Do you see all the positivity it brings, and would you advocate for other schools to do the same?
100%. I can see how beneficial it is, not only for the pupils but for the staff to all be working from the same perspective. I think is really, really helpful, and we all meet and talk about caseload and talk about the students in the school and really, really try to understand them and what they need in order to reach their potential and lead fulfilling lives. So I think it's a really good approach.
Yeah, I completely agree with that.
Yeah.
And what you mentioned, kind of the struggles that people might go through and the really varied age range. Would you mind touching on that a bit more? What kind of struggles do the pupils tend to come to you with, and how does music therapy kind of get involved there? Because I think music therapy isn't always well understood because maybe it's just not done so much in schools like it is done here. And so how would you tell someone how good music can be for someone who's perhaps struggling with issues?
Sure. So I guess if I think about a pupil who might struggle to communicate,
Sure.
They may not find it easy to access the words to describe how they feel, or they may not even be aware about how they really feel. They might be quite withdrawn or quite isolated. So in music therapy, we would work using instruments to play together, to communicate without the need for words. And then we might start to notice that certain themes emerge, or certain we can notice certain feelings through the music that we're hearing.
Yeah.
And it can help a pupil understand themselves a bit better.
Wow.
And bypass the need for words, which sometimes children really struggle with.
Yeah, I've seen it with my own eyes. Pupils who might be quite, shy, not wanting to communicate much, but then you hand them an instrument and they're just playing straight away.
Yeah.
They're expressing themselves in a way that isn't verbal. It doesn't have to be verbal.
Yeah.
And that's incredibly powerful.
Absolutely.
And can't wait for more people to hear everything that you're saying and learn more about this amazing thing that is music therapy.
Yeah. And I think alongside that, perhaps some pupils haven't had experiences of good friendships,
Right.
because they might have been struggling with confidence or self-esteem issues, and to be able to build a trusting relationship with a therapist where the focus is purely on them and there's no expectations, and to be able to begin communicating through music can really help the pupil feel like they can be heard, they can be understood. That can all be very, very validating for a person who may not have had good experiences relating to other people in the past.
Yeah, that makes complete sense. So I'm really curious, what do pupils who come to you tend to be studying? Is it music? Is it another kind of subject that they tend to come to you with? Do you find it's only musical pupils come to you, or do you find it's quite a
There's
wide variety?
quite a wide variety.
Really?
We would say that it's important when people are referring pupils to music therapy or art therapy or play therapy, they don't need to be skilled in that area to access it. So most of the instruments can be played naturally without ever having played them before.
Yeah.
Like a xylophone, for example, you
Sure.
get the beaters and you can make a tune. You don't need to have been taught how to do that. So it's a very improvisationally based way that we interact with the instruments. So you don't need to be musical at all to access music therapy.
Wow, that's great, because people think music and they think, I need to learn how to play an instrument. But no, it's so inclusive. You can be anybody and really get some benefit from it.
Yeah. And another wonderful thing about music is how versatile and flexible it can be.
Yeah.
It can be whatever you need it to be at a given point in time. If you need to really express yourself, you can find the instruments to do that. Or if you need music to just help you relax and be in a calm state, music can help you do that too. So that's one of the most powerful things about music, is its versatility. And I think for that reason, it can help so many people.
And I know for a fact that you had to adapt a lot during COVID, as we all did. And I'm really interested to how you adapted to that and how you've come out the other side. You've hit the ground running and you're helping more people than ever. How did you learn to cope with COVID in your profession?
It was challenging, like it was for everyone. The school environment changed. We were open for our pupils for whatever support they needed. But the school felt very different. Some pupils stayed at home, so some pupils stayed in school. And as a staff who generally have a lot of time together, we had to stay apart. So we had to do meetings online, and we had to rely more on email communication rather than face-to-face communication. But I feel we all adapted and adjusted to what we needed to do to get through that time. And the resilience of the pupils has been absolutely remarkable.
Wow.
We have created some projects to help them along the way. Every pupil was sent home a notepad and colouring pencils, and encouraged to create a journal. And then when they returned to school, they could find a space to go through the journal with one of the therapists, or a trusted member of staff, and a way to really process what that time was like when they were on their own at home, let's say.
Wow.
And then we ran a creative therapies week at the end of the summer term when people could get really back together again. And it was a real celebration of being back together and being part of shared experiences, which people really, really had missed. And that was a lovely way to end the school year, which was great.
That's really heartwarming to hear. I mean, we turned up today and I could immediately see, you know, the amazing kind of the atmosphere in the school. Everyone's looking out for each other, and you know, to be here speaking to you and seeing how much the teachers care is just you can't beat that with a child going through school and potentially hard times as well. So what's next for this hut? Are you going to get any more instruments?
Oh, well, there's always space for new instruments here, so you never know what's around the corner.
Well, Maeve, it's almost like you knew why we're here, because we spoke on the phone a million times, but we're here because we really want to support you. Our members got together, they've been funding us, and our sponsors, Chapman Guitars, they've given us amazing equipment to pass on to really great causes like yourself. So I'm going to give you a guitar, and we're going to give you an amp to play it through, and so it's going to be for your music therapy, for all the children that need it. So let me go and grab them right now. So Maeve, here we go, your very own Chapman guitar.
Wow.
For music therapy at Wiles Lodge School. I know it's going to be in great hands and be used for lots of fantastic reasons. So I really hope it gets used to the fullest extent by your pupils.
It absolutely will. We are extremely grateful for this. It's going to be a wonderful asset to the pupils that access music therapy here. To have such a high quality instrument is going to be very inspiring. So thank you very much.
It's such a pleasure, and we've decided to give you an amp as well. So there's a Marshall amp, there's a cable, so you've got everything you need to make full advantage of it alongside your keyboard and the other instruments we see behind us here. So it's just such a pleasure. Thank you for having us.
Thank you so much for coming.
My pleasure, and we'll see you soon.
Thanks, Alex.
Thanks.
So thank you to the Musical Community Alliance for this beautiful Chapman guitar and the Marshall amp. We're very, very grateful.
Hi guys, we just wrapped up episode 3 of Good Through Music, and wow, it's just so fascinating. I know you found it interesting as well, so please give us your feedback. I have to say thank you to our members and our donors. Every penny that you pledge means that we can do what we're doing today. Our sponsors as well, including Chapman Guitars, thank you for passing us these amazing instruments that we can pass on to support great causes. And last but not least, thanks to our community partners, including Straydog Pictures, who are filming this right now. See you next time.